Here, Gia, come here. Up. Come here, up. Up. Hi guys, this is Schwaku7, and I'm in my garage gym with my constant companion and 7-year-old Peagle, Jiha. And I have 4 home gyms. I have a garage gym, basement gym, an extension room gym, and a backyard patio gym. But no matter what gym I go to, my constant companion Jiha is here to accompany me. She wants to protect me from squirrels and birds, stray cats, and I don't need her protection, but she feels strongly about the issue, so wherever I go, Jiha's there to protect me. But anyway, what I want to discuss today is an issue. I'm 67 years and 8 months old, and I'm closer to 67 years and 9 months old than I am 67 years and 8 months old. And the reason why I have 4 home gyms is because I had a health scare last year in which I was driving down the highway and I almost passed out. I mean, everything was going black around me, and I only had seconds to react, so I quickly shifted my car's transmission from drive into neutral. But I thought at that time that if I didn't die of a stroke, that I could die from an auto accident. I was doing everything I could to prevent from injuring others. Unfortunately, I recovered, but I went home and I watched a Netflix health documentary called The Game Changers, which advocates switching to a plant-based diet to improve health and also to increase athletic performance. And I was desperate because I knew that I was facing a premature death. So I gave it a try, and I lost so much weight the first 2 weeks that I switched to a plant-based diet permanently. And since February 15th of 2023, I've eaten no meat, no dairy products, or eggs whatsoever. And I began exercising. I began studying different strength training methods. I bought many different types of exercise equipment. And if you watch my videos, you've seen that I have far more exercise equipment than the regular home gym owner. For instance, I own over 4,000 pounds of weight plates. I own cast iron, rubber bumper plates, chrome plated plates, standard weight plates, vinyl cover concrete weight plates, and so on. And I own many different types of progressive resistance, which includes resistance bands, and slam balls, and kettlebells, and maces, and dumbbells, and barbells, and machines, and so on. And I own older machines like the SoloFlex, the Total Gym, Gravity Edge Gym, the Marcy PM4400, and many new types of exercise machines, which includes the Titan Fitness Squat Max MD, which I highly recommend. And to me, all these are just tools. And my philosophy, and I'm a former boxer, I'm a former United States Marine M60 machine gunner. And a former martial artist. is to use the principle that I was taught in the Marine Corps about fire superiority. So I own many different types of exercise equipment, and people are probably wondering, why do I own so much equipment? This is the reason why. It goes back to my training. I'm a former United States Marine Corps 0331 M60 machine gunner. And as an 0331, I was taught the principle of fire superiority. And that is throwing more rounds downrange at the enemy than the enemy is shooting back at me. And by doing so, I can overwhelm the enemy. And that has been my fighting philosophy as a boxer and as a martial artist, was to throw so many punches at my opponent that would overload his defense, and I would break through and overwhelm him. And I take the same approach when dealing with problems, is that I will throw so much at the problem that I will overwhelm it. And that's what I did with my problem of obesity, is I attacked the obesity problem at so many different angles and so many different ways. It overloaded the obesity, and I overcame it. And I have lost 63.8 pounds using this approach. And yes, it has cost me money. But to me, what good is money if you're dead? This is my passion in life, and this is what I'm about. I have a wife from Asia who depends on me. And she left her country and her family and her friends and her foods and her language and everything that she was accustomed to, gambling her future on me. And if I had abandoned her or divorced her, she would have been left in the United States without anyone to help her. And she has no skills. She's been a housewife all her life. And her parents made her drop out of school when she was in the 6th grade, because in her country, the Philippines, life is about survival, about getting enough food to eat. But my wife is intelligent in her own way. And there are many ways to survive. There's many ways to earn income. And one of them is through spousal income. And I provide for my wife. My wife is not struggling financially. And I give her more money for her allowance than most people make in a full-time job, even if they have a civil service job. But this has been my passion, and that's what I'm about. I'm about trying to live as long as I possibly can. And I'm 67 years and 8 months old, so I know that this is something I can't hope for. This is something I have to make happen. And my approach to this is to eat a healthy diet. It's not to increase my risk of getting heart disease or stroke or diabetes or kidney failure or the cancers associated with obesity. And I can do this through exercise and nutrition and getting adequate rest and by researching. And I have overcame my obesity. and I have regained my good health, and I have regained my strength. But this leaves me wondering whether I should have kept this information to myself, because over 900,000 Americans die each year of obesity-related causes. And I believe that I have a moral duty to try to share this information, even though it has already cost me several thousands of dollars to create the YouTube videos that I have on my YouTube channel. I mean, I could have used that money to replace the roof on my garage. If you're in your 60s or 50s or 40s, and you've just accepted that weight gain comes with aging, and that you can't do what you once did because you're just older, then I'm saying that you should rethink that, because I'm living proof that it is possible to regain your strength and to overcome obesity and to be able to do things that people much younger can't do. Most Marines can't do 20 pull-ups, and 20 pull-ups is the standard to max out the pull-up portion of the Marine Corps physical fitness tests. You get 5 points for every pull-up you do, and the maximum you can get is 100 points. So if you can do 20 pull-ups, it's 20 times 5, which is 100 points. But most Marines can't do that. And the minimum standard for Marines is 3 pull-ups. So most Marines are somewhere within the 10 to 16 pull-up range. But what I'm saying is that just because you're weaker now than you were in your 20s doesn't mean that you can't regain that, because you can. Is that muscle loss, it's more due to inactivity and disuse than it is biological aging, at least for many, if not the vast majority of Americans. And that's what this YouTube channel is about, is that I'm trying to convey this information. I'm trying to let people know that just because you're obese doesn't mean that it's not reversible, because it is. It's not going to happen overnight, but it can happen if you make it happen. But you need a plan, and you need to work that plan. And that's what I'm suggesting. Think, plan, expect, and make it happen. If you don't know how, then I'll tell you how, but I can't do it for you. This is something you have to do for yourself. But knowledge is power, but knowledge is not power if you don't know it and if you don't apply it. And this is a very complex subject, because it deals with many different areas. It deals with nutrition, finding the right types of foods, like eating resistant starches instead of refined starches. A resistant starch is a starch that the body has problem digesting, so it passes through you without being digested. And you can find resistant starches in green bananas. You can find it in yams. You can find it in cabbage. You can find it by eating whole grains like barley. But all grains aren't the same, because if you eat white rice is a refined starch, and it quickly turns to sugar. It deals with exercises. What are the best exercises? Many people think all exercises are the same, but they're not. An isolation exercise works one muscle. You're better off doing compound exercises, which works many muscle groups, like pull-ups and push-ups and squats and deadlifts. But knowing the type of exercise you should be using is important. So what this video is about is that I want to present an issue to you, and that is, as you get older, should you just accept the conventional wisdom that with aging comes weakness and frailty and sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle tissue due to aging or inactivity. And I think that's the problem that afflicting millions of Americans, is that they just accept that just because they're older, it means that they're past their prime, that they have to accept getting weaker. But my position is that while sarcopenia is real, and Father Time will eventually grind each of us down, and death comes to us all, that sarcopenia, or the loss of muscle tissue due to aging or inactivity, or osteopenia, which is the loss of bone density due to aging or inactivity, is more due to inactivity and disuse than it is from biological aging. I'm 67 years and 8 months old, but yet I can still win first prize at the United States Marine Corps pull-up challenge.
Hours per acre. And the Phoenix
21,
who has the mission of keeping these aircraft flying.
22,
10 years of military experience. Together, their expertise results in
23,
aircraft operable for the Golden Knights. The C-140
24,
aircraft used by the Golden Knights.
one more,
A medium-range twin turboprop passenger plane modified
25.
Which is a free t-shirt. And it's not that I need a free t-shirt, it's just that this is the benchmark for me, that I know that at my age, as a senior citizen, I'm stronger now than when I was an active duty United States Marine Corps 0331 M60 machine gunner. You don't have to guess at how to regain your health, overcome obesity, or achieve muscular size, strength, and endurance, because there are many people like me who know how. It only makes sense to ask somebody who's actually been there. One of the problems you're going to run to is muscular accommodation. So even if you do exercise, if you keep doing the same routine, the same exercises, the same reps, the same sets, the same load, the same strength training method, eventually you're going to run into a plateau. And a plateau is when you stop progressing, and even your performance will decrease. And there are many different types of plateaus. There are strength plateaus. There are endurance plateaus. There are muscular size plateaus, like when your muscles stop growing. There are even weight plateaus. So if you're dieting, you're going to hit a weight, then when you weigh yourself again, you're going to find out that either your weight has stabilized or you've actually gained weight. And that's what they call yo-yo dieting. But you got to take the 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach. If you keep doing it, it's where you end up that matters, the end result. So don't get discouraged if you start yo-yoing, because weight fluctuation is normal. There are motivational plateaus, that what motivated you before doesn't motivate you now, or has a less motivational effect. You have to find different ways to motivate yourself. There are strength method plateaus, which is why you need to rotate strength training methods. There are many ways to achieve muscular overload. You can do it by weight, by adding additional weight. You can do it by volume, which is more reps and sets. You can do it by velocity, which is increasing the speed you lift your weights or slowing it down. You can do it by time, by using isometric holds and pauses. You can do it by intensity, and that's through strength training methods. You can do it through magnetic resistance, air compression, hydraulic compression, grip compression. You can do it by opposing one muscle group against another, like the dynamic tension exercises of Charles Atlas, and which you can still buy the Charles Atlas dynamic tension course for $55. They still sell it. You can do it by overcoming inertia, which is through flywheel training. You can do it by muscular contraction, by just flexing your muscles. You can do it by grip compression, like Eugene Sandow, the father of modern bodybuilding, advocated. But there are many ways to do this. But like I said, you don't have to guess at it. If no one else will tell you, I'll tell you. And I'm not asking for any money from you. All I'm trying to do is just share my knowledge with you, because I'm trying to make a difference.